When we get up in the morning, along with coffee, toast, and cake, if you're like the old Stone Roadie, you like to wake and bake. Now let's join Craig, Reed, and Griff Martin as you head out on the road. So sit right back and buckle right in. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. It's a Wake and Bake Morning Show. Good morning.
The STONED Roadies Show, podcast 133, episode number 17, the Wake and Bake Morning Buzz Action. Well, good morning, fellow Earthlings. My name is Craig Reed, a.k.a. the STONED Roadie, and as you know, most of the time I have my co-host on here, the rocket scientist, Griff Martin, but he's unable to make it this morning. His power supply kind of burned up, and so his computer's down, and so I asked my other, tried to get my other co-host, Kathy Godsey, to come on here, and she's got to go to work this morning, so she wasn't able to do it, so kind of leaves me to do this here by myself because y'all are wondering when I'm going to do the next podcast. So here I am. So anyways, I put on Facebook to ask me a bunch of questions and try to give me something to talk about here. But yeah, Griff's not the only one that's had some computer issues. I kind of got my flight simulator. A lot of you people know I got a flight simulator on here, and I've been playing with that. I've been doing a podcast and then doing my flight simulator, playing like I'm flying from city to city and town to town after I do these podcasts on a red eye. But here lately, I've been I ran out of room actually on my computer, and I had everything on my C drive, and I had to put a D drive on it not long ago, and I transferred some stuff over there. But then I downloaded another, or I had another thing on here that I actually fly spaceships on. It's called Elite Dangerous, and I finally got it to work with my controls, and then couldn't do anything with that because I ran out of room. So I had to transfer all of these podcasts that I've done here over from my C drive to my D drive. And when I did that, I had to go through and watch a bunch of them and make sure, see what was on there and put them over on my D drive and file them over on there. And oh my God, I saw some things that me and Kathy Godsey did. I did some outtakes, and oh my God, I was horrible at doing this. I'm not the best at doing a podcast anyways. I'm not even close to being the best, but I give it my best shot, because I'm not qualified to do these doggone podcasts. So you might ask, well, why am I attempting to do podcasts if I know I'm not qualified? And I say, well, people wanted me to write a book since I was a Lynyrd Skynyrd roadie, and they've made me feel bad because I feel like I'm holding skin information that they all want to know, so they want me to write a book, and I didn't want to write no doggone book, so I agreed to do a podcast, and so that's why I'm on here this morning. I'm going to attempt to do a podcast all by my lonesome here this morning, but yeah, I got some questions I got to attend to here, but first off, I tried to get on here, and I got on here and got into my analytics, and YouTube tells me that in the last 28 days, I have had 0 people watching my podcast. and I have 0 subscriptions, So, I know I have 2,300 subscribers, and last month I know I picked up 300 or 400 new subscribers. So I know I had more than 0 subscribers in the last 28 days. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but yeah, they've got my page all cleared off, and like I'm starting fresh. But if you look at my podcast, my last podcast, it says I have 2,300 subscribers. So, but I'm on my analytics board. I have 0 subscribers, and I've had 0 people watching my podcast for the last 28 days. So I don't know what's going on there. So I hope they figure it out. I don't know. I got brain damage. Them people out there at Google, they're all geniuses. So I'm in big trouble, So, that's all I can say about that. But Gene Odom told me that Mark gave me a little bit of information about Mark Howard. I know we've been talking about Mark Howard and his leg, and he's been having a lot of pain with it. And I guess the problem is he's got to have that bone in his, that he had his leg amputated. I guess he's got to have that bone shaved down a little bit, that is interfering with something. So I guess he said that it's a pretty easy operation. And, after he gets that done, he'll be in a lot better shape. And oh gosh, what else we got going on here? I guess I'll talk about the people. Oh, let me see here. Our new donators. We got a few new donators here. Let me see here. Sorry, before we started this, I spilled my tea all over my notes here, so I had to smoke a couple of bowls and wait for them to dry out. So I'm a little bit buzzed up here. I'm not thinking very good. So excuse me. Anyways, Xavier Medina donated $50 toward the Survivor Fund, and she also, or he or she, I don't know who that is. Rotated through. I'm sorry. Got brain damage, but Xavier, could be he or she, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, also drew these pictures. That's supposed to be me. She drew a bunch of, or whoever it is, drew a bunch of. You can see they got my peace pipe here, over here, and I guess that's a pretty good likeness of me. What do you think? So anyways, yeah, thank you, Xavier. Appreciate it. I'm sorry for the confusion on you. But anyways, yeah, Tim Manny donated $10. And he sent me some real peculiar rocks, some really little small rocks, and they're really peculiar looking things. But thanks for the $10 donations there, Tim. And our STONED Roadie intro and exit the music person, Danny Barron, wanted a sticker, so he donated $25 toward the STONED Roadie show fund, and I'm gonna send him one of them stickers that Clayton Johnson sent me sent me 100 of those stickers that we're going to sell for $25 a piece, and hopefully we can raise a whole bunch of money for the Forgotten Survivors Fund. And David Neese, yeah, he sent in $50, and he wants that to go to Gene. He feels bad for Gene because Gene's going through some pretty bad times as well. As well as all the people were collecting, trying to help with this Forgotten Survivors Fund. So he donated $50 to Gene. And Doug Moore. Doug Moore donated $25, and I think that goes to a sticker. Yeah, that would go to a sticker. Doug Moore, he wants one of them stickers. That's what the $25 is for. I want to thank you, Doug Moore, for that $25 donation. And let me see here. I had to write myself some notes here. Oh, cousin Figel sent me. He sent me these them kazoos a couple of weeks ago. I've been playing with them things. Sent me a bunch of them, and I'm gonna start when we give away something here on our giveaways. I'll start, if anybody that wants one of them kazoos, I'll sign one and send it with whatever we're giving away, and then I'll also also give me a whole stack of these Lynyrd Skynyrd $1 million bills that we'll send out with our giveaway stuff as an extra. You know, we're gonna tell you a little bit about the extras we'll give you along with the other stuff that we got on the giveaways. That'll be one of the extras you'll get with the stuff we're giving away. As you can see, he sent me a big stack of them here. So I got quite a few of them. And what else we got going on here? I was watching Last Man Standing the other day. It was just kind of on. That's that Tim the Tool Man Taylor thing, and he was talking about all the things that, you know, he likes fast cars and everything, and he was talking about all the things that were kind of over the top, and he kind of mentioned a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert. I thought that was kind of cool, things that are over the top. You know, it's funny, all the things that Lynyrd Skynyrd are. You turn on a TV, and it's kind of funny, all the notions they still comment about stuff about Lynyrd Skynyrd. You know, it's like, you know, it's just amazing. They've been gone for 50 years, and still people still talk about them the way they do. And the U.S. mail, I got that wrote down here. Yeah, Lisa, she sent me money. Oh my God, 3 weeks ago for that for the book and something else, and it hadn't gotten here yet. And she'd been calling, and I guess she canceled the check, and she's sending me a UPS or a FedEx or whatever. It should be here tomorrow. And yeah, Danny Barron, yeah, he sent that $25 for that sticker. He called me 2 weeks ago and asked me if I got the money, and I still hadn't got it. And he only lives in Illinois, and I just got it today. It took 2 weeks to go one state. It's crazy. This is Ohio. He lives in Illinois. It's crazy. It took 2 weeks to get here. So I don't know. So I'm gonna get to the questions here, but I have a question. I'd like to know, how long are we gonna allow this foreign interference in our elections? You know, how long are we gonna allow that to happen? I'd like to know that. You know, if it was up to me, this would have stopped 30 years ago. But you know, can't do it by myself. You know, Trump's trying to do it by himself, and he can't do it. He's got billions of dollars. We're going to have to, all of us going to have to get together and say, enough is enough. When we cast a vote, we want that vote to go to the person we want it to go to. We don't want people to be, this isn't Venezuela. You know, this isn't a third world country. I mean, you know, this is crazy. We all know what's happening. We all know what's going down, and it's got to be stopped. All this invasion and it's crazy. The borders and all this. I mean, there's I don't know how many millions of soldiers from other countries in this country just ready to get down, and we're just letting it happen. I think we need to wake up here. Sometime real soon. I guess AT&T went down this morning for a few hours, and I guess they're saying it was nothing peculiar happened, but I was talking to somebody and they kind of said that they have inside information that was something to do with China, and and so I don't know, but they're going to hide it all they can if it was. So that's all I know. But yeah, all this is happening. We better wake up. That's all I got to say. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna get to these questions here. Let's get to these questions here. Sean Rogers wants to know, where did Ronnie's hat go? And then Sean also wrote, which one? And Carol Locke wrote, wasn't he buried in the hat he had on the airplane? And I had heard, I was still unconscious down in Macomb, Mississippi when Ronnie's funeral went on. So I wasn't there, so I really don't know what happened down there. The next thing I know, somebody was digging him up and they moved him. So I don't know which hat. I don't know if he was buried with a hat or a fishing pole or whatever. But from what I remember, he had two black hats and a white hat. Well, from what I know about, and what happened to those. I really don't know what happened to all his hats, to tell you the truth. And then Kathy Godsey wants to know, when's the next Saturday night special? Well, Kathy Godsey, I just talked to you last night. I know you just want to let everybody know, I guess, that we're going to do one here. Not this coming Saturday, but me and you are going to do one here next Saturday. And I think it was with Mikey Lockout. I think that's who you said was coming on. I'm not sure, and someone else. But yeah, that'll be not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And and do you know someone? Carol Ott wants to know Kathy Godsey. He said, and do you know someone who could answer the questions that Steve Gaines and Cassie Gaines about people that knew Steve Gaines and Cassie Gaines? An old Band-Aid from Crawdad days, or someone who could tell us about Cassie. I guess somebody wants to know. Carol wants to know about Carol Lott wants to know about Cassie. And yeah, we'll try to dig up some stuff on Cassie. I know Cassie was in Hair. She was on Broadway. She was singing in Hair. And I don't know other stuff she did before that. I know she was in Steve's band, but yeah, she was doing some Broadway stuff. I do know that. And Glenn Heindel, do y'all know if there are any ever put a headstone on for Gary? Has there ever been a headstone put up for Gary? It's only been a year. I don't know. I suppose I would imagine Dale's making something really nice for him, but I don't know that. I'd have to ask Dale about that one. I couldn't tell you. And Joe Yumma, what caused Larry Junstrom's death? And apparently he had to retire from 38 in 2014 due to a hand injury that required some surgery. But he died in October the 5th or 6th in 2019, and he had been diagnosed with a brain tumor 15 years prior to that. And I guess when they diagnosed him with that brain tumor, they told him he only had 5 years to live, and so he made it for 15 years after he was diagnosed with that. So it sounds like he was diagnosed with that brain tumor when he was actually still in 38, and then he had that hand injury, and I guess he decided to retire, and then he died 5 years after that. Yeah. So Joey Medier wanted to know, did you do mushrooms at the Hell House? Hell yeah, I did mushrooms at the Hell House. Yeah, quite a few times I did mushrooms at the Hell House. Yeah, there was quite a few mushrooms out there. There was a lot of cows out there. There was good soil for mushrooms. And Neil McNone, why did Ronnie pull the plug on filming shows at the Fox Theater during the One More for the Road recordings? You know, I don't think there was, I don't remember. That was 50 years ago, but you know, 50 years ago there wasn't video and stuff, so I'm not real sure that there ever was any kind of filming ever done there. But someone commented on that, and they said, I heard it was because Steve was so new that he was it was his fourth concert with the band, and he still didn't know all the licks so many times they had to cut the mics, and Ronnie didn't want it seen. I don't remember that. From what I remember, the Fox, they were pretty well rehearsed, and Steve knew his parts. I don't know. That's my recollection of the whole thing. And then Neil McNone, he said it wasn't Steve's fourth show. He was in the band less than a month, and I'll give you that. But I think it came down to Ronnie didn't want to have all those cameras on stage in his face, and thought it better of it. Too bad, because it would have been fucking great. However, luckily the Nebworth concert footage was a month later in August '76. So there you go on that one. And we'll get back to that other page. Let me see. Okay. Do you have any stories about Steve Smith, the drummer for Journey? You know, I don't really. I wasn't the drum roadie for Journey, and I talked to Steve Smith quite a bit, but I really respected him as a drummer. And after I worked with Derek Hess in Rossington Collins, and then Steve in Journey, and then we put Rossington Collins together. I thought, wow, Derek. I always thought Derek played a lot like Steve Smith and Journey. I always thought they had kind of like the same little thing going. I don't know. I'm not a drummer, so I don't know. But I thought they were kind of drummed similar to my. And I don't know. In my opinion, anyway. So Steve Jones. When you began large summer events like the Super Bowl of Rock, Day on the Green, etc., and there were sometimes 3 or 4 acts before you, what did you guys do while waiting? Go and watch the other bands, talk business, relax? That could have been a 3 or 4 hour wait period. Well, you know, our crew guys, we were there all day long, you know, so we just kind of hung out in the dressing rooms and, you know, watched the bands and stuff. But, you know, Lynyrd Skynyrd, they didn't show up to do a when we had those big events like that, unless it was somebody they wanted to see. You know, but most of the time, the majority of the band just stayed at the hotel, and then they didn't show up until, you know, the band before they played went on, and then they would show up, and you know, an hour and a half before the show maybe. But yeah, they didn't stay there. They didn't stay there all day. Sometimes, like Artemis, he came over to the shows early a lot of times, and some of the other guys did too, if there was bands that they wanted to see or talk to or whatever. But it just depended. And Don Eric Evans, how did Gary get the name Prince Charming? Oh, well, I don't know. I guess that's because he was so cute, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's just, I don't know. I really, to tell you the truth, he just got that name, and I don't know. I think Ronnie named him Prince Charming. I'm not really sure, but that's as far as I can answer that question. And which albums or songs did they record with the PV artists? You know, I was the drum roadie. I was at the studio all the time, so you know, it didn't matter if I was the drum roadie or the guitar roadie or whatever. I was always at the studio when they recorded, but I didn't really pay a lot of attention to what amps they used until I was actually the guitar roadie, and that was only during the Street Survivor album. And that's when they all used artists on the Street Survivor album. From what I remember, they all used artists on all the songs, from what I remember. And then Tim Manny, did you ever get any offers from bands to be a roadie since you retired? No, not really. No, I never did. And if I had, I wouldn't have done it. I was done with the road when I gave it up. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that was a time in my life I didn't think I'd ever want to leave the road. But yeah, after I left the road after in 2006 and got home and got off the road for a while, yeah, I didn't want to go back. I was done with it. I'd done that since from 74 to 2006. So yeah, I was kind of done with the road, you know. You get home and you get in your own bed and your own, you know, just you know, there ain't no place like home, especially when you're retired. I love being retired. That's for doggone sure. And um, Tim Furkey, uh, here's one I haven't heard on the show. How in the hell are you able to fast when a case of the munchies set in? One would think no Dorito within 100 miles would be safe. Well, to tell you the truth, I never I never got the munchies. You know, I don't know. You know, food. Pot never reacted to my appetite in any way, shape, or form. Or you know, the only time I had to eat was when I drank a lot of whiskey. You know, and then that's when I gained all that weight. But no, pot never activated my appetite. You know, the only time I really had to, when I did drugs and had to eat, was during my alcohol. You know, when you drink alcohol, you have to eat. Some people don't, but those are the people that die from liver and kidney disease, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, my liver and kidneys are in good shape. Yeah, it's a wonder. But let me see here. Ron Eckerman spoke of his stepdaughter Mona in his book Being Around the Band During the Last Couple of Years. Is she still around, and have you ever considered putting her on the podcast? You know what? I don't really remember Mona. Um, you know, if I, you know, I don't know. I don't think she would know a whole lot about it. She could get on and talk about her dad, you know, or her stepdad. But yeah, we'd like to get her on. But I don't know a lot about Mona. I don't remember her being on the road. I guess he kept her away from us heathens. I don't know. But and Mark Houston, what would an Ed King autographed Skynyrd band tour program be worth? It'd be worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you for it. Yeah, you know, just stuff like that. Just you just never can tell what something like that's worth. It just depends who wants it and how many people want it and how many people are bidding on it at the same time. That's all my expertise on that subject. And Bill Smith, ever heard of any news of the gator that got stolen? No, I sure have. The police called me a couple months ago and asked me if I ever retrieved it, and I said no, I never did. But yeah, I miss my gator. I'm thinking about trying to get another one. Although I don't use it that all very often, and they're pretty expensive, 35 grand or so, you know. So it's I'd have to spend a lot of money to try to get another one. But I got my Yamaha Banshee I can cruise around the farm in. But yeah, that gator was kind of convenient to have, my but yeah, I haven't the only reason I really got that gator was to plow snow with it in the wintertime, and heck, we don't really have any winters anymore, and a lot of the stuff that I needed done around here I've already done. So yeah, I don't know if it'd be worth it or not for me to get another one at this point, to tell you the truth. And when are you going to go flying again, Craig? I trust you. I trust if you're a stoned pilot, will you ever be, well, I'm going to go flying here after I do this podcast, maybe, but I'll be going to another planet today in Elite Dangerous. Yeah, that game's a little more difficult than the flight simulator stuff. It's going from planet to planet. Yeah, you gotta fight pirates. If you're hauling, you go somewhere and you're mining for minerals, and then you're hauling minerals in your ship. You got pirates who want to steal your minerals. It's just like in the real world. If you have anything worth anything, somebody's going to try to steal it from you. That doesn't matter if it's in a video game or in real life. That's just the way it is. But yeah, Elite Dangerous, you got to be a pretty good pilot, fighter pilot. And I'm kind of in the training simulations of that, trying to get my weapons together. There's so many switches and gadgets on a spaceship. My God, there's so many controls that aren't on an airplane. You got warp drive, and you got your cargo. You got your cargo hole, and you got thrust up, thrust down, thrust forward, sideways, backwards. You got your different weapons, and it's pretty crazy, all the controls on those spaceships to fight pilots and mine for minerals and shoot from planet to planet, and to do docking on what do you call those things? There's I don't know what you call them, labs or whatever. I don't know where you exchange your minerals for money and stuff. Yeah, it's all kind of crazy stuff on there. Let me see what else we got here. Oh my goodness. God, I think I've just about covered everything on here. What else we got going? I talked about when I was doing my next podcast, I talked about going over maybe going over. This is my very first itinerary. I got. Oh, look at my green screen reacting on here. This is my very first itinerary. I got it. It's all kind of beat up and stuff, but yeah, I don't think we'll try to get into that today. I'm not really sure how this YouTube's gonna act, if it's even gonna let me load anything or not. It's, like I said, it's telling me I don't have any subscriptions and I don't have any what else? Oh, viewers or nothing. They've kind of, I don't know if there's a glitch in the system or what's going on, but maybe I just got to cut this off now while the getting's good. So yeah, I think we'll just call this a morning show, and and then I guess maybe I'll try to do one on Monday. I guess Griff won't be around. Maybe I'll try to do one Monday morning, and then until he comes back on like March 1st or something, I guess I'm gonna have to try to do these by myself unless Kathy Godzi can step away from and help me out while we're doing them in the morning, so she can't do that. So I guess you're just stuck with me until Griff comes back. So we'll just call it a day. And yeah, this has been nice chatting with you here this morning, and I think I'll maybe leave here and get on a spaceship and go to another planet. So this has been the Stoned Roadie, Craig Reed, and the Wake and Bake Morning Buzz on Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. And yeah, we're kind of out of here. So see you later, alligator, at the Wild Crocodile.